All right, T-Fam. What's up? How y'all doing? It's a new week for us over here at Tonac TV, and I believe your week has been great so far. And today we've got an amazing discussion with our experts, and it is going to be on environment and family, which has got a more significant role to play in a child's life. Don't you go nowhere. Stay with us, learn, and understand.
Even though the family is the smallest unit in the society, but are you aware that we tend to neglect the vital role the family does to the growth of the environment and the society and then the country at large? Sometimes. When you're saying sometimes, what do you mean?
By neglecting the in fact, I might even argue that we don't even neglect it, because these families, you've already said, families are the smallest unit of every society. Yeah. So, and you need these small units, these small parts to come together to form one tree cannot make a forest. Yes. You need plenty trees to come so we can call it a forest. So the society itself, when you look at it, it's families, just a gathering of families. So I would say, yes, we might neglect the impact of a family on the entire society.
Of the society.
Yes, growth of society. But I don't think we neglect the impact of families. And I personally don't think. But except if you're coming from a different
angle. I'm not coming from okay, let's just try to understand what I'm saying. You know, in an environment, let's go to a very, let's say, a jungle area. Do you understand?
Hostile environment.
Or a low class, low class. Okay, rural should be our villages. Low class environment.
Okay.
Do you know, have you noticed that in such environments, children tend to live wayward? Family can actually shape the children right from childbirth.
Well,
and that does,
family can shape one child.
Yes.
But that child is exposed to the society of other families that probably didn't do anything shaping their own children.
That's why I'm saying it. Okay, can you believe that in Jericho or in a bad environment, complete environment, a soul can come out. In Sodom or Gomorrah, a soul can come out to be clean and pure.
But that's only that soul come out and be clean, but it does not save the entire society.
But if it's not saving the entire society, but at least it has got it's going somewhere. If gradually someone can pick up, another family can pick up the challenge from there.
I think I understand what you're saying, but you see the issue is no matter how much you train your child,
yes,
the environment has a large part to play in it. Because no matter what you do, you can't imprison your child forever.
You cannot.
No,
I've heard people say that they would even homeschool their children.
I see. Well, the family is very, very important. In fact, it is
important.
It is the most important. The most important. That is the first unit of what?
Of the society. Yes.
Of the society. It is the smallest and the first. In fact, the most essential. And then these families we are talking about too, they are all part of this environment we are looking. In every environment, there are different units, different families. What I'm mostly interested in is a well-structured family. You understand?
Yes.
In an environment. See, you can grow up in a hostile environment. You can grow up in a shanty town. You understand? Like
and come out to be good.
And then if your family is a well-structured, well-mannered family. See,
are you trying to say that we don't have families that are not well-structured and yet produce bright ones?
Bright children.
No, see.
Well, no. See, okay, no.
Are there no bright kids that come out of families that are not well-structured?
There are.
What trains them? What guides them? What informs them? What shapes them?
Where are you coming from?
Structure, I'm talking about a house where there's chaos. A house where maybe the parents are drunks and maybe a broken home, a family where, it's not easy to raise a child. Maybe even there's abuse in the family, but the child comes out straight.
Right?
Yes.
What makes that child straight?
The environment can also make the child. The environment can make the child, and then the child can make the environment.
I know that. But I'm saying that in as much as a family plays a role.
Let me answer your question. In the environment, right, there are different families. You understand? Different. So now a child is coming out from a broken home, a disorganized family, whatsoever you can call it, going out to an environment whereby it depends. That's where his peers play a role in his life. You understand?
Peer pressure.
You understand? Peer pressure. And then the kind of people he mingles with, or the kind of role model he gets. You understand? That is where modeling comes into play. Your peer pressure, your role models. Who are your role models? You can come out from a family that is very, very disorganized, and then meeting the right set of people who can be able to put you
from
in the
that
right track.
same environment.
Wait.
You understand?
I feel like you don't get my point.
Okay,
I'm not
please, let me hear your
saying that families are not important.
Yes.
They're very important.
Yes.
Because this good people that will be role models also were grown
Yes.
from families.
Yes.
But you go to schools.
Yes.
Yes.
If we're saying invest maybe in the society
Yes.
as against families, and we had better teachers who
Yes.
probably have had bad experiences themselves,
Yes.
children eventually learn more from schools than most of their parents, especially if we're talking about shanty areas.
Yes.
They learn more from schools
Yes.
than they do from their families.
Yes.
So
And
don't-
some of them don't even get to go to schools.
yeah, of
Some
course.
of them don't get to go
And-
to
and
schools.
some of them
And they still-
don't
and-
go to
and they
school.
come out
They
to
end
still
up
be
well.
good. Yes.
They
And
end
some
up
of them
well.
come out to be
Based
very
off
well.
of influences
Okay.
from either those who have gone to school or other families who are driving
So
better in the
again, yeah,
society who
I
have
also
carried
think
them.
again that it also boils down to the individual.
Yes.
You understand? Like some people, you find some people that grew up in toxic family.
Yes.
Yes.
Their dad or their mom is being abusive to the other,
Yes.
and then they see, they
And they
feel
grew
like,
up seeing it.
I don't want to be like this to my wife, to my husband when I grew up.
But they
Yes.
must have
Become the
learned it from
perfect-
somewhere.
They
Yes.
become the
You know,
perfect
have you-
Thank you.
spouses.
It
They
depends.
must
There's
have
some
learned it
people
from
again, they
somewhere.
see it
That
and they
is
feel
why
like
we
this is
made
the right
mention of
thing.
modeling.
Do you understand? Yes. So
You could
some
see-
bad models here are
Yes.
actually good models.
We
for
will
children.
shape someone. Yes.
Do you understand?
The bad
Some
people-
bad people are good models.
They will
Yes, I
shape
agree.
someone.
You could see a child growing up in a family where the father beats the mother. You understand? And then he is this kind of a person that when he sees a man, even quarreling a lady or talking to a lady in an ill manner,
Triggers
he
some-
disassociates
with that
himself.
food.
But you know
Yes.
that's a
Like,
trauma
it's
reaction.
PTSD.
You know that's a trauma reaction.
Some
That's a
Yes,
positive.
PTSD.
It's a positive trauma reaction.
Triggers that PTSD.
Good.
Yes,
You understand? There are some
it's
But-
traumas
but-
that
but-
produce
but-
that
it's
keeps
a-
you on check.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
To me,
Yes.
like this one now, if you grow up in an environment where your father beats your mother and then you go out and then you don't want a situation whereby it has already created a positive, you analyze it a positive way.
Even though
You
it's
didn't
negative,
you didn't give it a
Yes.
bad
negative
you
experience.
understand?
Yes.
Even though
It's a
it's a
negative,
negative
but
experience,
you've
then
used
you
it
didn't
to your
give
own
it-
advantage.
Thank you.
So at the end of the day, what you're saying now at the end of the day is, yes, the family is in the environment, it's in the
Yes.
society.
Yes.
Society is the environment.
The environment
plays a very important role because you see, I know for a fact,
Yes.
I know you have psychological background.
Yes.
I know for a fact. I once had the conversation with my friend, he's a psychologist. He was working with some rehabs before he moved to Ghana. He was talking to us about mental illness.
Mm.
What are some causes of mental illness
Yes.
apart from substances and stuff. He made mention of two things that caught my fancy. The other one was he said something like genetic, like
Yes.
your great grandfather could have been a user,
Biological
has
factors.
like dormant.
Yes.
You now take, but that's not even the point. The main point now is he made mention of your environment growing up.
Thank you.
You find people that grew up in quiet environments, like
Yes.
this tush environment. You know that noise causes mental illness, causes mental disorder.
Yes.
Itself.
Likewise,
Like,
silence.
yeah, no, I understand no, I understand for the silence.
Excessive
There's
and
this room. I saw something like was it Guinness World Record most quiet room? Like people don't survive in that room for how many hours? Nobody have survived
Yeah.
more than. So I understand it causes mental illness.
Yes.
But you see people that grew up in quiet places, some kind of schools. Do you understand?
Yes.
They turn out to become better people. Like when you see them, mostly, I'm not saying all, when you meet these people, the way they talk, the way they act is different. When you see people that grew up in some of these shanty towns,
And you
yeah,
see-
I was
and-
born
and-
I was born
and-
there. I spent the
and
first
see-
8 years of my life in
But
some of these areas. Do you understand?
But I feel
the
like
noise, the pollution, everything
do
it
you know-
I
affects
feel like
you.
that
Do you
is
know why I
where,
love-
affects
do you
you.
know
that
why
is
I
where
love-
the family comes
Do you know
into
why I
play
love
now.
the
Okay.
African tradition?
One of the reasons,
Okay.
one of the reasons for which some people settle for staying in shanty areas is because they cannot afford to
Afford,
live the other
yes.
lifestyle.
Yes.
So as a parent,
I don't think
might
anybody
feel like
wants it.
I want
But
a
if
better life for
but
my
if I
child.
if I
Yes.
cannot afford to live in the urban area part of this country, why can't I make a difference?
That's
in
what
that
I'm saying.
area?
So
Do
you
you know
have
why-
to do extra
See,
work because the
Stunner,
environment will be
Do you know
fighting
one thing I
against you.
love?
You can imagine living in an
always-
area where
But
But you know,
everybody
but
is
you know,
a
there are
drug
cases.
user.
always
But
One
you
man
know,
cannot
but
raise
you know,
a
there are
child.
cases
Thank
that
you.
there are children that
See,
that live.
admire that
in these
about the
urban
African
areas.
culture. They say a child belongs to everybody.
No one man can
You
take a
understand?
child.
That's what the African man believes. That okay, if you see a child, going
the
astray.
wrong way.
You understand? I've had cases whereby a woman in my environment, a woman slaps a guy simply because he's sagging. You understand?
A mother.
Yeah, a mother.
But not in this our 21st century.
Just going to say
Like
that
not in this our
this our
21st
time
century.
and age.
But
Not as much as it was before. Everybody just faces their front now and minds their
It's not
business.
somebody's
those are
child,
some of the
even in
rules that
schools.
the environment plays.
Even in
Shaping
schools,
the child as well.
you
Get
see
my point?
parents. We have
Times
cases
are
of parents
changing.
coming to fight teachers in
Yes.
school
Yeah.
because they're
Changes.
trying to
Changes.
discipline
I
the
agree. But
the
then
child.
I'm just trying to point out the fact that, okay, those are some of the roles that the environment plays on we
Yes.
as individuals.
Family plays a vital role in the children more than the environment does, right? So reason is that parents have more leverage or opportunity to groom their children before they launch outside. The environment also has a vital role to play, right? But parents have more influence over the child, because when that child goes out, the child is coming back home, right? The child is coming back home. So except you don't give that child to room to, open up and just be very vocal, that's when you wouldn't know the height of influence that the environment is having on that child. But I know that I'm of the opinion that family has a very stronger role when it comes to children more than the environment.